Hello everyone, my name is Christopher Rose. I'm an author, mentor, life coach, motivational speaker, evangelist, musician. In this FL Studio 20 session, we're going to be making a brand new album and a brand new beat. This album is called The Eternal God, and I wanted to make this album to express my passion and love for God and Jesus Christ. And I wanted to make an album based on God. So this is why I'm making this album. A very spiritual album, this album will be. So the first track on this album will be The Eternal God is Everlasting. So how we're going to make this track is an intro, verse, outro. So let's begin. So first we'll start with the intro. So the intro's done good. So we're gonna add it to the playlist. So just adding the intro into the playlist. Next, we're gonna do the verse drums. Okay, the verse drums are good, so I'm gonna add it to the playlist. Just gonna do it up to 40. Next, we're gonna do the verse melody. So I've got my MIDI keyboard with me here today. as you can see here. So I'm going to record the notes on my MIDI keyboard. But first, before I do that, I'm just going to play the verse drums and see how I can make it. So I've got an idea of how I'm gonna do the verse melody. So we're gonna press record. It's just oh, so I'm just gonna drag this. Just gonna drag it. So this is the melody that I made. Looks quite simple, but we're gonna quantize it now. So first I'm gonna copy all the notes. Then we're gonna quantize it. We're gonna have all the melody onto beat. I'm just gonna nudge the notes together now, just to make sure it's in sync. Just do it manually. When you quantize, you have to make sure you're doing all the notes in sync. So it's always good to check over your notes just to make sure they're in sync. Like I said, I've just nudged all the notes together. So let's add it onto the playlist. So I'm just sorting out all the notes. So let me just copy and paste the melody. Let's do it again. It's going to add some drums. Sometimes you have to make it a bit longer to fit the beat. So I'm just making sure I'm doing that. Okay. So now let's hear it. So it sounds good to me. So what I'm gonna do now with the melody, I'm just gonna make all the notes more louder because some of the notes are a bit lower. So I'm just gonna push everything up. The only thing about recording with MIDI, it does take a bit more time to get the melody right. So rather than doing it with the mouse, that's the only thing with MIDI. But obviously, if you're a good producer, you would learn how to use the MIDI. So I've made it a bit more louder now. So it should be a bit more louder on the beat. Let's just hear it. That's fine. So next, what we're gonna do, we're going to do the um the verse bass. So what I'm gonna do with the verse bass is just copy some of the notes from the melody into the bass. So just keep it simple. Okay, so we've added our bass notes. So I'm just gonna copy the bass notes and add it onto the bass pattern. And now I'm gonna lower the bass. Oh, don't know what happened there. How's it doing that today? Just gonna move the bass notes. Gonna lower the bass. Gonna add the bass into the playlist. Okay. So next we're gonna do the outro. And for the outro, I'm just gonna do drums. So I'm just gonna randomly put in the notes together. Okay, so let's hear the drums. So the drums sound good, so I'm gonna add it to the playlist. Because the drums are a bit more lower than the melody, I'm just gonna add 3 patterns to it, just to make sure it's more louder. So we're gonna add the vocals now. Um, so first, the eternal God is everlasting in every third bar. So I'm just adding the vocals on every third bar. So I'm just doing it now. Okay, so next we're gonna add the spiritual music vocals just before the eternal God is everlasting. Okay, so the beat's done now, so I'm just gonna show you what I've done. So we've got the intro here, then we've got the verse. I've added more melody because it's a more subtle melody, so I've added more patterns to it just to make sure it's a bit more louder. Then we've got the outro, so let's just hear the intro.
Spiritual music. The eternal God is everlasting. Spiritual music. The eternal God is everlasting.
Okay, so the intro's fine. Let's hear the verse.
Spiritual music. The eternal God is everlasting. Spiritual music. The eternal God is everlasting. Spiritual music. The eternal God is everlasting.
Okay, the verse is fine, so let's hear the outro.
Spiritual music. The eternal God is everlasting.
Okay, so it sounds all good. So I'm just gonna head the final.
The eternal God is everlasting.
Cool. So we're gonna save the project first. Then we're gonna save the MP3 and the WAV file. I think I've made a new. I'm just saving the WAV file, the MP3 file. So that's the end of the tutorial. So I hope you've enjoyed, and it's good to use the MIDI keyboard for once. I don't use it that often, but when I do, it's good to use it. So thank you for watching.